What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Hope you're doing well, feeling great, and enjoying freedom. It's a great day to have a great day. It's a great day to talk about and be the owner of some real deal silver and some real deal gold. In today's video, I wanted to talk about and discuss stacking and taking the more contrarian approach. Why I've been doing this for the last 4 or 5 years. It's actually really been longer, but I've been really doing it for the last 4 or 5 years, and how it served me very, very well, and why I think most people can benefit by taking the contrarian approach. We're going to get into it, but really quick, just in case you're new, make sure to subscribe for a bunch of videos, subscribe to my second channel for bonus videos, and follow me on social media at Mykie DYDSS across all platforms. 4 super quick things as we fully dive into the video. Number 1, if you haven't already, get yourself some DYDSS merchandise to help support the channel. We have the brand new It's a Great Day to Have a Great Day t-shirt and coffee mug. DYDSS store will be linked in the description. 2, make sure to try yourself some Celsius Energy. That's right, it's a healthier alternative to the other energy drinks out there. You can get a 12-pack variety pack on Amazon right now. I will leave an affiliate link in the description so you can try out the different flavors. 3, if you're not already investing and you'd like to be, make sure to download Webull and fund your account. They're going to give you some free stocks just for doing so. And they make it really simple for a new investor to start investing because of how easy it is to learn about the market and navigate on their app. Webull link in the description. 4th and finally, if you need any silver or gold stacking supplies, airtight tubes and capsules, anti-tarnish paper, mini lock boxes, currency sleeves, microscopes, the list goes on. Any and all stacking supplies, and any and all prepping supplies will be linked in the description for your convenience. Okay, so in today's video, I want to talk about this contrarian stacking concept. I want to talk about being a contrarian when it comes to your finances, when it comes to converting your fake fiat dollar bills, your glorified IOU debt note dollar bills, when you have however many are left over after payday and after you take care of the financial responsibilities. I'm talking keeping a roof over your head, car on the road, food in the fridge, things like that. Once that's all taken care of, the currency fiat notes left over, I don't care if it's $10, I don't care if it's $1,000. What you do with those leftover remaining dollars in the financial world, whether you're focused on wealth building or wealth preservation, I personally believe that taking the contrarian approach is dang near every single time the way to go. I also want to quickly talk about the spot price. I am filming this video on Thursday, May 22nd, 2025. 7:11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The spot price of silver is $33.03. It is just a hair in the green right now. Up 2 cents or up 0.06%. Spot price of gold, same day, same time, $3,300.50. It is up a measly $5.80, or up 0.18%. Just a quick little spot price update. Filming this on the 22nd, it's coming out on the 23rd. I can't imagine the spot price being too wildly different less than 24 hours from now, but who knows? Never know. So I wanted to talk about the contrarian approach to your finances, and this can go back and forth between playing financial offense and playing financial defense. And the way that I see it is it's kind of like just going against what the herd's doing. I personally believe that going after and converting your dollars into or stacking or investing in what's kind of off the radar seems to be the way to go, at least for me. That's been the case for me for, at this point, 7 years. But I've really been doing it for the last 4 or 5 years, aggressively. So when I first started stacking silver, picked up my first piece of silver. Spot price was about $17. Premiums hardly existed back then. About $1 over spot for generics, $1.25 for maples, $1.50 for eagles. Super low premiums and super low spot price. Times were good back then. My entire first year of stacking, the spot price was on a fairly steady decline. Not a rapid decline, but a steady one. And it kind of bottomed out around $14. So the spot price was $14, $14 and change. Premiums were $1 to $1.50 over spot per troy ounce, at least for the pieces of silver that I was focused on. Generics, maples, and eagles, all I cared about. Super low premium silver, and I was getting the best bang for my buck, and the spot price was, compared to where it's been in recent years, you could say $14 an ounce silver. It was like dead in the water almost. And I knew. And I said, way back then, summer of 2018, I remember saying dozens of times, this could potentially be the opportunity of a lifetime. Silver is very slept on right now. Silver is kind of like off of everybody's radar. Now might be the time to load the boat to the best of my ability, back up the truck the best I can, and get as much silver as humanly possible. Now, granted, looking back, I didn't have nearly enough currency to get as much as I would have liked to have gotten back then, but I did the best that I could with what I had at the time. And I was picking up silver like, 2, 3, 4, 5 times a month back then. Mostly from the local coin shop. Every once in a while I'd get something online. Support your local coin shops. Support small businesses. Shop local. But this is what I did. The entire year of 2018. The entire year of 2019. Except in 2019 I started to add a little bit of 90% to the stack as well. Moving into 2020, my game plan was originally supposed to be the same until March of 2020 happened and we spent the rest of that year on a different planet. What I quickly realized that year, because late 2019 is when I started to invest just a little bit. I just want to familiarize myself with the markets. I want to invest my dollars as well. I wanted to start growing wealth, building wealth, creating wealth. Silver and gold are a way of preserving wealth, and I came to the conclusion that I don't really have any wealth to preserve just yet, so what am I doing? Need to build something for myself first. So I started to dabble a little bit. 2020 happened, and the market fell. Some of the biggest, strongest companies, strongest stocks, fell 10%, 20%, 30%, 40%, 50%. And I ended up buying in at unbelievably low prices. And I knew that people were running for the hills right now. And I also noticed that people were running to silver and gold. Precious metals started working their way up. Silver hit $20 for the first time in my stacking journey, and for the first time in years and years and years and years, silver touched $20. And it didn't just touch $20. It kind of skipped the line. Went to 22, 24, 26, 28, 29, and just kind of poked $30, and then came back down to $29 and change. All in the span of like just a few months in 2020. Silver was taken off, gold was taken off, and guess what? What was everybody doing at that time? Everybody was talking about silver. Everybody was talking about gold. All of a sudden, the financial headlines started talking about precious metals. People that knew nothing about precious metals started diving into the precious metals. Asking questions about precious metals. Picking up precious metals. I don't know if a lot of them kind of viewed it as a get rich quick. I don't know if a lot of them genuinely developed an actual interest. I don't exactly know what was going on. All I knew is that all eyes were on the precious metals. Meanwhile, stock market didn't do so hot that year at all. It fell pretty hard. It crashed. And not only did it crash down to this low point, it stayed at that low point for a while. Spent a good portion of that year. Fell low, and then it moved sideways at that low point. So what was I doing at that time? Or prior to this time, when nobody was talking about silver? Nobody cared about silver. It was slept on. It was off of everybody's radar. That's when I was aggressively buying. Spot price was falling. I would pick up as much as I could. All of a sudden, spot price started taking off, and the premiums got cranked up through the roof. But the stock market fell, and all of a sudden, everybody was talking about silver, and everybody was focused on silver and gold, and talking about the metals, and just worrying about what the precious metals are doing. That's when I was aggressively buying into stocks. And guess what? Just like every other point in history, the stock market recovered. Shocker! The stock market has a 100% recovery rate. And a lot of the investments that I made are currently, 5 years later, up 30%, 40%, 50%, 90%, 130%. Majority of which did very, very well. Not just well, did very well. Then we saw a little bit of a shift again. All of a sudden, the stock market made its recovery, and the following year had a really strong year. We saw a lot of green. And the precious metals started to lag behind again. So guess who shifted his focus a little bit and started saying, okay, people seem to be at least the trend followers seem to be forgetting about the precious metals right now. Maybe I should kind of kick it up a notch and get a little bit more coins than I'm already getting, and kind of scale back on some other stuff. So that's the approach that I started taking. So coming around full circle, or the moral of the story here is, I tend to go after what people are not talking about. I tend to target what's off of everybody's radar. And I know it might sound like a pretty wacky comparison, but think about sports betting. A lot more money in betting on the underdog. And I've been referring to silver as the underdog metal for the last 6 or 7 years. And this is like the contrarian approach. And very similar could be said about when rates are up and down as well. Because there are different things you can do with your dollars depending on the current status of rates in the country. When rates are high, I know saving money is generally not a very smart thing to do. You shouldn't be saving just for the sake of saving. But when rates are high, you could potentially lock in a pretty good rate in a CD account. I know I did. 5%. Not bad. So I locked up a little bit of cash at 5%. And when rates are low, which they're a little lower now, wouldn't call them low, but they're a little bit lower. And as they continue to go lower and get to a point where we can actually say rates are low, at that point, maybe it's not so much the time to save with high rates anymore. Now that we have low rates, might be time to borrow. Borrow for cheap. Business loan, mortgage, things like that. Push yourself further into real estate. Push yourself to the point where you can grow your business and borrow the money for cheap so you can do this. When rates are high, CD accounts generate that high interest income. When rates are low, borrow and use it as a vehicle to build wealth. And before rates are low, when rates are still high, that is kind of the good thing about something like, almost like a CD account. I know saving just for the sake of saving isn't a smart thing to do. If you're going to save your money, make sure you're saving up for a purchase or saving up for an investment. So what you can do is you can lock up some cash in a CD when rates are high. Generate that 4%, generate that 5+%, while you wait for rates to fall and other opportunities to present themselves to you. It's literally the point of a CD account. Generate high interest income while you wait for rates to fall so that you can borrow money for cheap and get yourself into real estate, grow and expand your business, things like that. So it's all about doing the opposite. That's what being a contrarian is all about. It's a strategy. It's a way of being methodical and strategic and creative. And being a contrarian, for me personally, it's worked out very, very well. Because when something is moving in a downward direction, I hop all over it. I get as much of it as I can. And as it starts going up, I say to myself, okay, it's on the rise. It's on the move. It has a whole bunch of attention right now. Let me start tackling what everybody's currently neglecting. So I start doing that. Now, as I'm working on a different project now, my previous project is up by quite a bit. The one that I'm working on is moving in that downward direction. I'm getting more and more and more and more. I'm lowering my average cost every time, or as often as possible. Now that one starts moving in an upward direction. All of a sudden, there's been a little bit of a shift, a paradigm shift. Something different in the world is going on. Maybe it's not a matter of rates going up or rates going down. Maybe it's potentially a trade war. Maybe it's tariffs being announced and being met with retaliatory tariffs and going back and forth and creating all of this economic uncertainty and fear. During times of economic uncertainty and fear, a lot of people run to silver and gold. Mostly gold, but silver and gold. And a lot of people start liquidating their positions with certain stocks. People start selling off a little bit. That's why we saw the stock market falling for weeks and weeks on end earlier this year. And the precious metals were on the rise because people were running to the safe haven, the precious metals, so that they can lean on them for stability. This is normal. We see this all the time. During times of high inflation or things taking place that could result in high inflation, a lot of people run to the silver and the gold. When inflation's on its way down, that's when people say, oh my God, everything's safe again. Everything's going back to normal. Time to start spending. Time to start buying, acquiring, and borrowing to build and create wealth. When times are rocky or it looks like rockiness is on the horizon, that's when people say, okay, maybe it's not all about, growing wealth at this time or building wealth, creating wealth. Maybe kind of let me see what I could do to preserve my wealth, which is when a lot of people turn to silver and gold. It's all about being a contrarian. Whatever they're doing, I do the opposite. Whatever's green, I buy the red. Not to say that I don't also buy in the green, not to say that I start, neglecting something entirely just because a bunch of people are involved in it. No, I'll still buy. But I prioritize what gets neglected. That's the approach that I've taken over the years. And it has served me very, very well. My average cost on silver, if you take every ounce of silver that I've acquired 7 years ago all the way to present day, my average cost is under $20. I would probably guess that my average cost is about 18 bucks. Because I got a majority of my silver between 14 and $18 back when premiums were very, very low. I slowed it down by a lot once it surpassed that $20 mark and the premiums went through the roof, but I stayed consistent. I stayed buying, I stayed acquiring, but I got the overwhelming majority of my stack when the spot price was still in the teens and the premiums were still very, very low. How was I able to do that, or what let me do that? Everybody was focused on other things. Nobody was focused on the silver and gold, which is what told me to focus on the silver and the gold. Then when everybody started focusing on the silver and the gold, I was like, okay, stocks are friggin' 40% off. I'm going to focus on investments. So that's how I've done it over the years, and it has served me very, very well in every single facet. It has served me very, very well in terms of building my credit. It has served me very, very well in terms of my investments. As many people know, I work 2 jobs. 2 jobs means I got 2 401ks. Both of my 401ks are very much in the green. One of the jobs allows me to contribute to an HSA. That's in the green. I have my own personal Roth IRA. That's in the green. I have an everyday, average, regular, taxable account. That is way in the green. My precious metals are in the green. My business, doing pretty well. So I don't want to sit here and be like, oh, everything I touch turns to gold. Pun not fully intended, but also partially intended. It's all just been because of, or a result of, taking the contrarian approach. That's how I've been doing things my entire life. And that's the approach that I took the day I stepped into this financial world. Just being a contrarian. I've always been a contrarian. I've always stepped away from the herd and gone my own way. It's just the way that I do things. And by taking this approach in finance, it's led to a lot of success, I would say. Now, funny enough, this entire video was actually inspired by a comment that I had just received from somebody named Robert, who said, "Hi, nice channel. As you know, your prediction for silver is not the word for most other silver channels on here. You didn't say why you think it won't go parabolic or significantly up by the end of the year. Are you being a contrarian to gain views?" Now, I like that he used the word contrarian because I have personally referred to myself as a contrarian in these silver videos for at least 4 or 5 years. So the thing is, no, not being a contrarian to gain views. If I was trying to gain views, I would actually be lying and sharing an opinion that isn't actually my opinion. I'd be telling people what they want to hear. A lot of people that are in the silver stacking world don't want to hear a silver channel be like, oh, you know what, I personally believe the spot price is going to go down or in the short term. I don't think silver is going to be, skyrocketing anytime in the near future. They don't want to hear that. If I was trying to gain views, I'd be lying. No, this channel is just to share my opinion, share my perspective, and have fun doing what I'm doing. Now, I will also say, just for the record, that views on YouTube in 2025 mean almost nothing. And that's been the case for, years and years and years and years. The views don't matter anymore. The algorithm, this newer, I don't want to say new algorithm, but the newer algorithm, as of these last however many years it's been, do not or no longer cater to views. It caters to watch time. And this is to combat the people who do stupid stuff to get cheap views. If I did something stupid to get cheap views and everybody and their brother clicked on my video and in the first 15 seconds they realize, oh, this isn't what I signed up for, and they head out, that does not help you. That hurts you. People in the algorithm get punished for that. Where you get rewarded is from people clicking on your videos, regardless of how many, and they watch the video a majority of the way through, all the way through, or a decent portion of the way through. The people, you know, in today's world, it's better to get 10 people to watch your video 65% of the way through, let's just say, than it is to get 1,000 people to click on your video and immediately leave. The person who gets 10 people to watch their video a majority of the way through are rewarded for that. So I couldn't care less about views. I like the watch time. And I like looking at the analytics and seeing that, wow, people actually enjoy my content enough to watch it 40, 50, 60, 70% of the way through on average. There are sometimes I'll post a video and it'll have an average watch time of over 100%, which means the average viewer will watch the entire video and then go back and watch more of that same video. That's what I like to see, because that tells me that people are enjoying the content. They enjoy it enough to watch a majority of what I just created. And that makes me happy because I enjoy creating what I just created. So it means something to me to know that people actually enjoy it. That's what I like. And I think the reason people enjoy my channel is because I'm honest. Even if my opinion is not what you want to hear, it's still my opinion. I don't think people are watching my videos so that they can hear their own opinion. If they wanted to hear their own opinion, they would just open their mouth. People watch my videos because they want to know what my opinion is. And my opinion, you know, funny enough, that comment said that I didn't express why I don't believe silver is going to go parabolic or skyrocket before the end of the year. I actually did explain in that very video that he commented on why I believe or why I don't believe that. And I've also said it in a dozen other videos in the last couple of weeks. I believe this whole trade situation that we're in right now, I think by the end of the year, I don't believe we're going to have 100% success. I do believe that we're going to have more successes than failures. And as a result, I think it's going to stabilize. I do believe that it's going to be beneficial to the economy. And I believe that we are going to slowly but surely get ourselves on track to tremendous, tremendous success. And upon tremendous success, and upon an economy that's thriving and growing and healthy, there becomes less of a demand for precious metals as a safe haven. Because the vast majority don't feel the need for a safe haven. The vast majority focus on growing and building and creating wealth. It's when times get rocky that people look for a safe haven. So what I'm saying is that I believe that the economy is going to be getting back on track. Maybe not in every single way, and maybe not right away, but I believe we're heading in the right direction. I believe that we're taking small steps in that right direction, and I do believe that, no, we're not going to have 100% success, but we will have more successes than failures. And as a result, less people are going to be frantically running to precious metals and driving up the price with that fear, and they're going to be focused more on investing in business stocks and real estate. I did say that, and I've been saying that, and I've been very consistent with that these last couple weeks or these last couple of months. And my stance on silver and gold has been consistent for the last 7 years. I've changed up my strategies. I have made some adjustments along the way. But overall, my stance is still the same. And I'm not doing a tremendous amount different. But, again, this video is all about being a contrarian, taking the contrarian approach, and explaining how beneficial it can really be. And how it's helped me quite a bit and how it has really changed the game, at least in my life. But I want you guys to head on down to the comments and let me know anything and everything related to today's video topic. When it comes to the contrarian approach, would you agree with me that oftentimes, I mean, back to the sports betting analogy, would you agree with me that, yeah, you understand what I mean when I say that there's typically more money in betting on the underdog? Do you agree with me? Do you understand what I'm saying when I talk about the contrarian approach and switching back and forth between financial offense and financial defense depending on what other people are doing, or what the majority are doing, I should say? When the ball is in their court and they're playing offense, maybe that's a sign to start playing financial defense, and vice versa. When the ball is no longer in their court and they're retracting, they're retreating, they're backing up and getting defensive, that might be the time to attack. Head on down to the comments and let me know anything and everything related to today's video topic. If you guys like today's video, please hit that like button, subscribe. If you're new, subscribe to my second channel, which is my backup channel for bonus videos. Follow me on social media at Mykie DYDSS across all platforms. And of course, 4 super quick things as we wrap up the video. Number 1, get yourself some DYDSS merchandise to help support the channel. We have the brand new It's a Great Day to Have a Great Day t-shirt and coffee mug. DYDSS store will be linked in the description. 2, if you haven't already, try you out some Celsius Energy. That's right, it's a healthier alternative to the other energy drinks out there. You can get a 12-pack variety pack on Amazon right now. I will leave an affiliate link in the description so you can try out the different flavors. 3, if you're not already investing and you'd like to get started, make sure to download Webull and fund your account. They're going to give you some free stocks just for doing so. And they make it really easy for a new investor to start investing because of how simple it is to navigate on the app and learn about the market. And I do plan on taking 3 people this month in May of 2025. I want to help 3 people learn about the market and help them and guide them through kickstarting their very own investment portfolio. So if you want to be one of those 3, please reach out, and the Webull link will be in the description. 4th and finally, if you need any silver or gold stacking supplies, whether it be airtight tubes and capsules, whether it be anti-tarnish paper, mini lock boxes, currency sleeves, microscopes, the list goes on, any and all stacking supplies and any and all prepping supplies will be linked in the description for your convenience. And I want you guys to head on down to the comments and let me know one more time, what are your thoughts on this whole contrarian approach? What are your thoughts on this whole contrarian way in the financial world when others are playing, or the majority are playing financial offense? Start playing financial defense. When the majority is playing financial defense, start playing financial offense. What are your thoughts on this whole contrarian approach and taking what's currently off of most people's radar and really targeting that and kind of straying away from what everybody's diving into and driving up the price of and kind of like forming this bubble around? Head on down to the comments and let me know anything and everything related to today's video topic. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you in the next one. Don't you dare stop smiling. Peace.